Video we are going to discuss about portal vein. So actually the portal vein is the largest vein. So let us draw the portal vein first. So this is the portal vein. It is the largest vein which is formed by union of a splenic vein and superior mesenteric vein like this. So actually here lies the duodenum like this, and here is pancreas. Okay, so this is a superior mesenteric vein. This is the splenic vein, and this is a portal vein. Okay, so portal vein is the largest vein which collects the blood especially from abdominal part of alimentary tract, like from the gallbladder, from the pancreas, from the spleen, and all this blood is conveyed towards the liver. Okay, and mainly this portal vein, after reaching the liver, it will convert into sinusoids. Okay, in the liver, the sinusoids are found. So instead of capillaries and venules, the vein will now divide into the sinusoids in the liver, and after the sinusoid it will drain into the hepatic vein. Okay, and from the hepatic vein it will finally drain to inferior vena cava. So this is the flow of blood from the portal vein to the sinusoids to the hepatic vein to the inferior vena cava. So the blood from the means which region the portal vein drains? The portal vein drains the blood from the all abdominal region, like complete abdominal region blood is drained to the portal vein, and it will finally reach the inferior vena cava and finally of course the right heart. So this is called portal vein because its main tributary is the superior mesenteric vein, which begins at one set of capillaries in the gut, and the portal vein ends in another set of capillaries in the liver. So that's why it is called portal vein. So now let us see how it is formed. Actually, if you see the portal vein, it is 8 centimeters long. It is formed by union of superior mesenteric vein and splenic vein behind the neck of pancreas at the level of L2 vertebra. So at the level of L2 vertebra, the portal vein is formed. Okay, so now coming to the course, how it is running. So the portal vein runs upward little towards the right side. So you can see this is the right side, this is the left side, right? So it is running somewhat towards the right side behind the first part of duodenum. You can see this is the first part of duodenum. So behind means it is passing back of first part of duodenum, and also lastly in the right free margin of lesser omentum. Actually here you will have the sorry, this is left side. So here you will have the right free margin of lesser omentum. Okay, so it is passing back of first part of duodenum. So this is first part of duodenum and back of, like near to the right margin of lesser omentum. Okay, and from there the portal vein is divided into infraduodenal. This part is infraduodenal. Okay, because it is below the duodenum. Infraduodenal, retroduodenal means back of duodenal, this part, and the other part is supraduodenal. Supra means above the duodenum. So three parts. The portal vein is divided into three parts. Okay, infraduodenal, below duodenum. Okay, retroduodenal means back of duodenum. Supraduodenal means up of first part of duodenum. So this vein terminates by dividing into the right end of porta hepatis by dividing into right and left branches which enter the liver. So it ends in right end of porta hepatis. Porta hepatis is present in posterior surface of liver, right? So there it will end in the right end of porta hepatis by dividing into right and left terminal branches. So now let us see the different relations, as we said, in the infraduodenal part, in the retroduodenal, and also in the supraduodenal part. What are the relations? Let us see now. So first let us start with infraduodenal part. So in the infraduodenal part, if you see anteriorly, there is neck of pancreas. Clearly in this diagram you can see this is the infraduodenal part anteriorly, this is posteriorly. So this is, you can see, head of pancreas, and here you have the neck of pancreas. So anteriorly you will have the neck of pancreas for the infraduodenal part of portal vein, and also posteriorly there is inferior vena cava. So let me show that diagram. So here you can see this is a posterior relation where you can see the inferior vena cava, and in the anterior relation you can see this dotted line represents that it is located posteriorly. So this is the infraduodenal part of portal vein. You can see anterior to it has neck of pancreas. Now let us see the retroduodenal part relations. So retroduodenal part means back of duodenum, this part is retroduodenal part. So of course anteriorly you can guess it, you will have first part of duodenum, okay, and also you will have the common bile duct. You will have the common bile duct and gastroduodenal artery. So these are the anterior relations to retroduodenal part. So if you come into the posterior relation of retroduodenal part, you will have again inferior vena cava. So let me show. So again you can see posterior relation, inferior vena cava, and if you see the anterior relation here, of course here you can't find that common bile duct and gastroduodenal artery, but just imagine we are talking about this retroduodenal part, right? So here anteriorly you have first part of duodenum, you also have the common bile duct here, and also you will have the gastroduodenal artery, okay. So now coming to the supraduodenal part. So supraduodenal means above the duodenum part, okay. So the supraduodenal part, anteriorly you have hepatic artery and you have bile duct plus free margin of lesser omentum, okay, free margin of lesser omentum. And posterior to the supraduodenal part you will have inferior vena cava, which is separated by epiploic foramen, okay, epiploic foramen. So these are about anterior and posterior relations of supraduodenal part. So the three parts of portal vein. Now let us discuss the different branches of portal vein, okay. As I said, the portal vein is divided into right branch and left branch. The right branch is shorter, wider when compared with left branch, and after receiving the cystic vein it enters right lobe of liver. So right lobe will receive the cystic vein. Now coming to the left branch, this is longer and narrower, and it transfers the porta hepatis from its right end to left end, and it furnishes the branches to caudate and quadrate lobes. Just before entering left lobe of liver, it receives the para-umbilical veins, okay. So and also it receives ligamentum teres and ligamentum venosum. So right side it receives only our short cystic vein, whereas on left side it will receive ligamentum teres, ligamentum venosum, and also the other one, that is a para-umbilical vein, okay. Now by means of this diagram, let us understand the different tributaries of portal vein. So here you can see the first one is the superior mesenteric vein and the splenic vein together form the portal vein. We know this. So the first we'll see from the stomach you will get two tributaries. One is left gastric vein. So here I'll mark it up. Left gastric vein, right gastric vein. Okay, these two veins are from the stomach. And next you will get a cystic vein on the right side, already we discussed, and para-umbilical vein on the left branch. And next comes a superior pancreatico-duodenal vein. Superior pancreatico-duodenal vein. Of course, we know splenic and superior mesenteric vein. So the tributaries are left and right gastric vein. After that, remember superior pancreatico-duodenal vein. After that, cystic vein goes into right branch. Para-umbilical vein goes into left branch. And of course the splenic and superior mesenteric veins we know. So these are the different tributaries of portal vein. So by this we are completed about portal vein. So if you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe.